Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and in this case checking out the Zero Tolerance 0452 CF, which is a Sienkiewicz design. Right off the bat, couple things to keep in mind. There's a ton of knockoffs floating around. These are quality made knives, these are expensive knives, these are knives made in the USA. So the first thing to keep in mind, if it hasn't got a barcode in the box, that's a bad sign. Get it from a reliable, reputable source. I'll leave the affiliate link from Amazon if you want to get yourself one of these, or anything else like my books. You can get them in Amazon as well. But the nice thing with that is if there's any problem, you can just send it back. But yeah, be careful with that. Just don't buy from any random seller. There's a lot of that in the market floating around. So we have the nice typical bag that I have with all my other ZT knives, the bubbly bag, which yeah, that's also a good sign, and comes with this little bag for absorbing moisture or whatnot. And here we have the blade. It is beautiful, guys. I mean, what can I say? This is Sienkiewicz designer makes some beautiful knives, and ZT has been working with him for some knives already. The action, you have to use it so as to appreciate how smooth the action is. And I haven't even cleaned it or done anything. Like, I'm not going to be pulling it apart or anything. I'll just let it settle little by little. One thing I noticed that given the size of the blade, you have to be careful not to pinch when opening, because it will come out, which is something that I like. It's something I appreciate. You don't have to struggle with this one bit. Already, you just give it a little bit of pressure, and that detent, once it releases, it just snaps out of place. And this is not assisted. This hasn't got any spring like the assisted opening knives from Crucian. No, this is just craftsmanship, mechanic, and well-designed knife. That's all you have in here. With that flipper, you just put a bit of pressure in there, boom, there it snaps out. Of course, it helps that you have almost a 4-inch blade that's going to be giving you enough mass to swing out with authority. You have titanium scale on one side. It's a frame lock knife, of course, as you can see here. You have carbon fiber on the other side. I move the clip because I usually go with left pocket carry, because I usually have a multi-tool in my right pocket. So this is usually the combo I work with. For some people, it's overkill. For me, it's my way of life for decades now, and I don't plan on changing it unless something better comes up. But for now, that's the way I go about it. It is super lightweight. It is incredibly lightweight for this size, because it's definitely on a medium size of a knife. It's not a tiny knife. I was just comparing it to the Endura, which is a classic blade. It's about maybe a little bit longer than your Endura. So it's definitely a significant pocket knife, and with the quality that you get from ZT, it is a little bit of a beast. Yeah, I feel more than happy with this. For me, this is the Goldilocks, not too big, not too small. I mean, I've carried much bigger knives. I've carried my Vaquero Grande, which is a damn sort of like a 5.5-inch blade. Anyway, this is not the case. This is more of a gentleman's pocket knife, even though you have a blade that will work very well in a number of possible scenarios where you may end up needing a pocket knife. Steel is S35VN, which is what Zero Tolerance uses with some of their nicer knives, and it's definitely one of these premium steels. It's one of those high quality steels. I moved the clip as I was just explaining, and you can go with either left or right side, always tip up, which is okay because I'm usually happy with tip up. Actually, in this one I have it on a tip down, but yeah, this is from back in the day. These days I appreciate more the handiness of tip up, especially when you have a flipper, because the way you would pull out the knife would involve you having to index it like so as to activate and use the mechanism, the action. So yes, that's what you have here. Very lightweight, very comfortable as well in terms of that handle, that grip. at least for me, it's perfect. I mean, I make full use of all the real estate that I have here, and you can appreciate that there. I mean, the grip would, the handle continues here, but as far as where your fingers go, I'm making full use of that. And anything smaller than this really is going to be leaving me wanting a bit more of contact surface for that grip. This, I'm very happy with it, super happy. It engages enough so as to have a bit more room of wiggle and wear as you keep on using and opening the knife. Some people freak out because they say, oh, it's not going all the way. It usually doesn't. It usually doesn't, especially when you have this kind of design and contact in the locking system. For example, something like this in the multi-tool, the Leatherman multi-tool, it goes almost all the way pretty much, but it's designed to work that way. It's a lot thinner, it's a lot smaller, and it goes all the way through, and that's perfectly fine. It's the way it's supposed to be. Now this gives you a rock solid engagement with the blade, and it has no wiggle, no room, no nothing, and more than enough meat there to keep on going through years of use and wear. It's going to be moving a little bit towards there, but as you see, it just engages where it actually needs to engage, making contact with it actually, I'm looking at it right now through the I don't know if you appreciate it through the camera, but it engages the entirety of the steel insert, which is what you want. And it is solid, and it opens nicely as well. You don't have to fight for it. I'm sure that in no time I'll be able, just look how that goes already, single-handedly closing it too. So it has a strong detent little hole there, and as soon as you open it, it just snaps out of there, exactly the way you want this blade to be. The design of the blade itself, which is an important factor. A well-designed blade will always be more useful than a poorly designed one. Guys, I always insist on it. How well designed is that knife? Is it okay for the intended purpose? So this is going to be giving you a pointy blade. It's going to be giving you more than enough. And yes, of course, when you have bigger knives, you usually get away with more uses for it. But if it's not well designed, you may end up suffering on one end or the other. But here you have a slashy blade with a continuous curvature along the blade, right? Along the edge, it continuously curves towards the tip, and it is super sharp. It's razor sharp right now, I can tell you right now. And yeah, very well machined all along the blade. Look how it's stronger there in the tip. So it's one of those things where you would look at it and say, oh man, that's a little bit of a narrow tip, and it is, and I'm okay with that. You have to be careful not to snap, and you're not using it as a screwdriver and nonsense like that. But man, that's why you carry, well, at least that's why I carry a multi-tool. If I need to pry, if I need to use a screwdriver, I have an actual screwdriver there in my knife. And in this case, nice strong tip, pointy blade, quality steel. Amazing how lightweight it is, but yeah, I mean, you get it. It's titanium, it's carbon fiber. It's very strong, yet very lightweight. One of the things that gave me a little bit of of nervous stress was, changing the clip from one side to the other, because the carbon fiber itself is threaded. So you want to be careful with that. Use the right bit. Don't monkey around with this, because you don't want to strip those threads. Changing the entire piece of carbon fiber would be tricky. I mean, changing the entire thing of anything will be tricky. So whatever as you do, if you pull it apart, whatever as you end up doing, be careful and not monkey around with things that don't fit. Use the actual Torx bits that fit correctly. You don't want to mess with your nice new zero tolerance. I'm very happy with it. It's maybe one of my favorite knives so far, and I just got it, so I can completely see how I'm going to be liking it even more as time goes by. I sometimes miss a little bit of something to, you know, grab onto there, because I'm used to this mechanism more. But with my 0630, I got used to the mechanism where it just, you know, hangs on the pocket of the pants because of that wave mechanism. And given how smooth this is, in no time you get used to the flipper. Yeah, so it's gonna be just a matter of adjusting for a few days, and then yeah, nice smooth sailings in from there. Beautiful. Guys, if you want to check it out, again, you'll have it available in Amazon following the links there below. It is a bit of a pricey knife. It's a bit of a extremely high quality American made knife. So my advice is, if you want it, get it. Usually these things don't last. Zero tolerance makes a design for a while, and then it just discontinues it. And if you want to go buy it in the second-hand market, you're going to be paying more than you pay in the original price, which is something to keep in mind. I mean, I like quality stuff. I definitely like quality firearms, quality knives, and I can tell you that over the years, you know, even, you know, nice stuff like this. This is a very nice knife. The Spider Co. There's, you know, classic of classics in terms of pocket knives. It's going to be making history of pocket knives. But buying a used Endura 4 is going to be cheaper than buying a brand new one. Now, buying zero tolerance once it's discontinued, I don't have a single zero tolerance that hasn't gone up in price, and I could sell it today for more money than I bought it back in the day. Something to keep in mind. Anyway, folks, it's gonna be all for now. See you on our next video. Take care.